last year?
Yes, Senator.
Yes, it has risen 169%. They're getting really aggressive. Yes or no? Have the Taliban previously demonstrated a propensity for human rights abuses, cultural genocide, ethnic cleansing efforts?
Historically, yes.
Yes, they have, and we have thousands of undocumented cases, and we know that the U.S. still needs a presence in Afghanistan to resist Iran's malign interest and their plots. And if we fail to recognize the opportunity Afghanistan presents to what the NDS cites as rogue regimes and revision powers, we're kidding ourselves. General Trollinger, yes or no for you? Do you agree with the IC's annual threat assessment that, and I'm quoting, Iran will hedge its bets in Afghanistan, threaten instability, is worried about a long-term U.S. presence in Afghanistan, and as a result is building ties with both the government in Kabul and the Taliban so it can take advantage of any political outcome? Yes or no? You agree?
I would agree.
Okay, thank you. And to you again, General Trollinger, yes or no? Has Iran provided support to the Taliban at this point in time?
Not to my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge, okay. As a Middle East subject matter expert on the Joint Staff, do you assess that Iran is intent on taking advantage of a U.S. withdrawal in Afghanistan, and what does that look like?
I would assess that they would be opportunists and looking for every opportunity to gain an advantage, a decisive advantage, a slight advantage. Any opportunity they might perceive that they have, they would look to take advantage of that.
Do you believe that Iran is prepared both politically and militarily to compete on two fronts?
I can't answer that question.
Okay. Could you answer that in closed session?
I could talk to you more about that in closed session.
Excellent. Thank you. Within 48 hours of the announced Afghanistan withdrawal, the Washington Post wrote, and I'm quoting, Beijing should use its leverage with Pakistan to keep the Taliban true to the February 2020 agreement and encouraging a ceasefire among fighting parties in Afghanistan. China has some incentive to do this, lest Afghanistan become a source of instability, particularly within Xinjiang. So, Secretary Helvey, do you assess China, Iran, or both will inject themselves into the affairs of a post-U.S. occupied Afghanistan, and what form do you see that taking?
Senator, I do agree that I think China will become more involved. They are involved in Afghanistan.
Do you think Beijing looks at Afghanistan as an investment opportunity?
Yes, Senator. They're looking at it primarily for economic purposes, but also they do have concerns about counterterrorism and extremist threats.
Rare earth minerals?
That would fall within an economic opportunity, yes,
Okay,
Senator.
thank you. Knowing what you know about China's Belt and Road Initiative, specifically their overland routes, are they predicated on access to Central Asia?
A significant part of One Belt, One Road does transit through Central Asia and Pakistan.
From an exclusively geographic standpoint, if China had unfettered access to Afghanistan, knowing that they share that border, would there be anything standing between them and their land-based BRI route to Tehran?
I would have to look into that a little bit more in detail. I'm aware of the investments through Central Asia and Pakistan. There's also maritime routes to Iran as well. But that I would submit that's not the objective of
right. I would
China's
appreciate
Belt
getting that in writing because I think it would give them that unfettered access, the ability to build that consistent route. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator.